Hey everyone, so I've been talking a lot about New Year's resolutions, and I know you're probably wondering why I keep harping on this, because I want you to be successful this year. 80% of people, the statistics show that 80% of people scrap their resolutions by February. So first of all, where did resolutions come from? Why do we do this tradition of creating New Year's resolutions? I actually didn't know this. It started like 4,000 years ago in the time of Caesar. It was a Babylonian practice, looking back at the old year, forward to the new year, and it was more of a moral thing. People, odd, because in that time it was pretty crazy, but people came up with these sort of declarations. They were going to improve themselves, but it was often done in a moral way. Like, I'm going to be a better person somehow over this next year. It was aimed toward a bad habit. It was not so much about weight loss or the way they looked. It was more of a moral declaration. So I didn't know that until recently, and I thought that was so interesting. And over time, it's evolved into weight loss or whatever, more self-improvement in physical ways. Is the number one thing is weight loss or smoking or something like that. So, but most people can't stick to it. And so I've been kind of harping on this because we want you to be successful with your changes. And I want to just talk to you about that. So we all have something we can improve on. And I don't know about you, but everyone tells me that lately they are miserable because of time, especially during the holidays. And I have to tell you, I'm usually fairly good at managing my time during the holidays. This year was terrible. So I was so just overwhelmed with finishing construction and having, a huge party and just business and my daughter and just so many things going on. It got to me. And I realized I was not feeling like my normal self, and I have to be very careful with my energy. And so I made this, I'm not going to call it a resolution because I don't do resolutions. I made a declaration that I was going to be better about managing my time, and that my focus was going to be on time and health this year. So I'm going to talk to you about how I managed to be successful when I make these declarations about changes I want to make. Daniel and I coach people. This is what we do. We wrote the Brain Warriors Way last year, and we did a 6-month course where we held people's hands, literally 6 months we did this course. And why? Because it takes time to make changes. But let me talk to you about how it works. So I'm going to put it in the framework of same thing we did in the Brain Warriors Way. I'm going to tell you exactly what we do. It's mastery. So think of mastery. The M is mindset. So if I think of that in the context of time, okay, so I want to manage my time more effectively, and I want to be better at doing things like, even if I'm multitasking, how do I do that effectively? So mindset. Think like a warrior. So when I think of that, so let's see. If I'm going to think like a warrior, I have to tell myself I absolutely can do it, number one. So I can't tell myself I have no time. I have to stop saying I don't have time. So the first thing is know that there is time. I just have to figure out how to create that time. I have to be more creative. I have to be better at delegating. I have to be better at prioritizing. But think like a warrior, because if you tell a warrior something, they can't do something, they're going to battle, they're going to go, well, wait, we have to do it, right? So that is the first thing. Don't tell yourself you can't do it, you must do it. If you can't, you must. So that, for me, that's the first thing. So if I think of mastery, that's where I'm going to start. And then the next thing is A, for assessment. So assess. So I'm going to look at it and I'm going to assess what I can do. All right. So I'm going to assess my day and I'm going to go, all right, where can I find that time? So I spend a lot of time, like right now. I'm with you outside. It's probably very noisy. Okay. But I have to be creative, because two of the things I want to do, spend more time on my health. I also wanted to spend more time with my community, because for a while I got so busy, I just couldn't. And I had to take a break from doing live chats and things like that. And that actually makes me sad, because I like helping people and I like connecting with people. So I have to assess, where can I do that? I'm with my daughter. I'm up in Los Angeles. We spend 2 days up here a week doing some of her lessons and some appointments. And so I'm going to have to be creative. I'm talking to you. I'm in my gym clothes. I'm talking to you while I'm outside, and then I'm going to go for a run while she's in one of her lessons. And I'm going to do a phone meeting while I'm going for a walk or run, whatever it is. So I'm going to be creative. But I used to say, oh, I can't do it because I have to go to LA today. I'm not saying that anymore. I'm saying, I can do it. I can talk to you. I'm not going to be all made up. I'm going to be in my gym clothes. I can still talk to you, right? But I'm going to go for my, you're going to see me in my gym clothes because then I'm going to go work out and I'm going to do my meeting while I'm on the phone. Be on the phone while I'm walking, rather. But if you're creative, you actually can do it. So the S in mastery is sustenance. The holidays get a lot of people. Okay, so sustenance. Now, we don't eat as bad as most people, but even if you're doing 80% instead of 95%, you're going to feel that, right? So you've got to eat to have energy. So you've got to sustain your energy through your food and through your sleep. So sustenance. Make sure you're eating for energy. If you say you want energy, is your behavior getting you what you want? Don't lie to yourself. So in the Brain Warriors Way and in the Brain Warriors Way cookbook, we spend so much time on that. A significant part of the book is about fueling your body for success. If you had $1 million racehorse, would you feed it garbage? And yet we do that to ourselves and we're like, it's okay. It's not okay. The holidays last for months. It's not okay. You're not going to feel good. You're not going to have the energy to sustain it. T is for training. That's for creating new habits, like the one I'm doing now. I'm not used to sort of like taking that 10 minutes that I have and just jumping on with you without sort of creating an environment, right? I usually have the lighting. I want to try and get everything right. But that means I don't get to be on with you as often. So maybe it's not perfect, but you create a new habit and you connect. Okay, so maybe I'm not at the gym lifting weights, but at least I'm moving my body. So we're not going for perfection. We're going for feeling good, for making it work, and then I do the other stuff when I can. I create that time later. So we want to create new training, right? And then E is for essence. We connect that to purpose. Now, mindset is like, I'm going to do it, I'm going to make it happen. And if you don't know your why, you'll never do your what. So connect it to a big enough why. For me, I connect the why to my values. That mindset is my values. So my values are, it's God, health, family. And it's got to be in that order for me or it's not powerful enough. You've got to create your own value system. Health has to come before family because if I've already been sick, really sick. And when I'm that sick, I don't have the energy even for family. That's why that is powerful for me because I've been in that place. So I connect that why to I need to be healthy because I've got a family. I need to be there for my family. I know they're better with me healthy. I don't want to be a burden to them. I want to be there to help them. I want to see my daughter thrive and grow. So that's a powerful why for me. You've got to find your why and it's got to be powerful enough. Fitting into a bikini isn't a powerful enough why for most people. It lasts for a couple weeks and that's why you become a statistic. But your purpose, your essence is usually a little different. That also can be connected to your values and probably should be, but it's usually a little deeper. We often say turn your pain into purpose. So if you can connect that to something really deep, that will often work really well. So that's where I say my family is better with me. So I really connect that deeply to my family and I don't want to be a burden and I want to be here for my daughter. That's turning that pain that I've been through, that place of depression and being sick and having cancer and just feeling like I don't really have a purpose on the planet. I tap into that. And then that way that fuels me. That's my purpose. That's my essence. So that's the E in mastery. The R is responsibility, probably one of my favorite parts because responsibility really means the ability to respond. Doesn't mean blame. But the more responsibility you take for your life and the outcome, the better the outcome is going to be. If you give that control over to someone else, you have no control to change it, and you have no really control over the outcome. R is the ability to respond. It's responsibility. So victims can't win, right? They have to remain victims. So if you're using victim mentality, it's the most self-defeating thing you can do. So even if it's not your fault, take responsibility anyways. Who cares whose fault it is? Just jump in and take responsibility. I'm not giving up that control after being sick, right? I want that responsibility. And then Y is for years long. So if 80% of people give up their resolutions by February, think about it. When do all the diet books come out? When do all of the health programs come out? They come out in January because they know the number one resolution you're going to make after being on a 2-month or 3-month binge since Halloween. They know that the number one resolution is that you're going to lose weight or get healthy or do all these things all the diet books come out. Okay? So it's like, do this 2-week program, get back on track. Do this, whatever, this quick fix. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's got to be a years-long program. It's got to be something sustainable. It can't have gimmicks, and it can't have special food that you have to like continually eat and pay a fortune for. You have to know how to do something forever. And I know forever sounds like a long time. That's the goal. Okay, we want you to be able to be around with a lot of energy for a long time. Doesn't that make sense? Why would you do something for 2 weeks? That doesn't make sense. So, I mean, think about that for a minute. If I hear 1 more 2 weeks, now here's the thing. If you do the right things, you're gonna feel better within 2 weeks. You will feel better. I often say, give me 2 weeks to see if you feel better. Give me 2 weeks, just try it. Because sometimes you say to someone, do this forever, and they're like, it's too long, because we're a quick fix society. So I'm like, look, just do what I'm asking you for 2 weeks, and if you don't like it, go back to being a couch potato and we can still be friends. Go back to being overweight and lethargic, and I will still love you, but try it for 2 weeks, and if you feel better, then keep going. That's different than doing a 2-week quick fix program. You're going to feel better in 2 weeks, but you got to keep going. It's a lie to say that you're going to do something for a short term and feel better long term. So I'm just getting sort of tired of the whole quick fix society. It's irritating. So anyone knows to be an expert, you got to have 10,000 hours, right? It's an expression. You got to put your 10,000 hours in, and by the time you've done it, you don't want to give it in. I mean, you don't want to give it up. I had to do karate I already had a black belt in another martial art. I had to do, where I train, almost 7 years before I was able to get my black belt. And it's bizarre to me that so many people give up after they get their black belt, because that's when I actually started falling in love with what I was doing, because by then I was actually good at it, right? So why are you going to give up then? So make it a years-long approach. So that's what I wanted to sort of go over with you. That's how I'm going to do it this year. My things I'm working on are being more effective with my time so that I have better energy, being more effective with my time so that I'm not wasting time. So rather than telling myself, I got into that habit of saying I don't have enough time, I'm not going to tell myself that anymore. There's always enough time. We all have the same number of hours in a day. So if your problem is health, if your problem is weight, if your problem is sleep, I don't know what it is, but use that mastery framework. Try it and see. It's a lot of you have Brain Warriors Way because you're in my community. Use that mastery framework. It's written in depth and in detail in the Brain Warriors Way. If you need more help, go to TanaAmon.com. Check out the 6-month program that Daniel and I did, where we literally hold your hand for 6 months. Some of you need that. It's very practical, very easy to do. And for 6 months, it's about an hour. It's 26 1-hour segments. And you don't have to do all of them. Some of them might not pertain to you, but it's really helpful just to have that constant guidance. So I hope this was helpful. Check it out. Let me know what you think. And I really would love to hear what your goal is for this year. Let's not be a statistics. Let's call it something other than a resolution, right? Let's kick that. What are your health goals for this year? And let's do something that puts some teeth into it. So state it. Once you state it, right, you're sort of committed to it. And then tell me what you're going to do about it. Take care and have a great day.